What's up, bro? What's going on?
How you doing, man? What's going on?
Good, just chilling, working and stuff.
Yeah, same here.
All right, cool. Well, first off, thank you for joining. We've been going back and forth trying to set up a date, so it's awesome to finally have you on and all. So we always appreciate you and all. So
Thank you. I
uh,
appreciate that.
no problem. All right, so let me do an intro, and then we'll go right in the questions. All right. So this is Naheem. He's got one of the best boxing nicknames, the Dream Parker. He's 1-0. He's trying to get that work in before the year's over, or hopefully get more busy in 2021 and all for sure.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
All right. So the first question I have for you. So I thought you were a Philly fighter at first, but then you told me that you're from Jersey. So what part of Jersey you from?
Well, I was born in Camden, New Jersey. I grew up everywhere pretty much. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was hopping around everywhere. Grandparents, we lived everywhere. Philly, Sicklerville, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in Philly like most of my life, but Jersey is like, I graduated high school and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So yeah, it was pretty cool. So I'm used to a mixture of crowds, different people and all like that. You know what I'm saying? Multicultural crowds and everything. So I'm used to everything.
Awesome. Okay. And then what age did you start boxing at?
Wow. When I was younger, I used to box when I was younger, but I stopped because I got into other sports like basketball and football and stuff like that. But I really started taking it serious when I was like 17. So I was jumping around from trainer to trainer, and I just couldn't find anybody that was the right trainer for me. And then someone told me about a coach named Chris Williams, and I ended up going to Camden. Camden, our gym's not in Camden anymore, but our gym used to be in Camden. So when I met Chris, it was like the best thing that ever happened for me. You know what I'm saying? Chris Williams is my boxing coach. He's been coaching me since I was in the amateurs all the way up till now. And, you know what I'm saying? I don't see no reason to stop now with him. So,
That's awesome. Okay, cool. Now, were there any type of people that you really looked up to for like Jersey boxers? So, like obviously here in Philly, like everybody, even the fictional character, like people want to be like Rocky and stuff. So like, was there like any people that you really looked up to in Jersey that made you want to fight, or was it that you were really fascinated in the sport?
I was always fascinated with the sport, but I really started getting into it. Like, I just started watching fights and just looking at, I used to grow up watching Ivan Mighty Robinson.
Okay.
Dad, we used to watch Ivan Mighty Robinson, and we used to sit down and watch him fight. And I used to be like, wow, that's a nice style. And from what I had heard, he was from Pennsauken, New Jersey, so I didn't know if he was or not. And then, like, one day, me and my coach, it's crazy because we went sparring one day in Philly, in Fifth and Allegheny, at Ivan's dad's gym. But I didn't know that was Ivan's dad. So one day I was just sparring, and, I started looking to the corner of my eye with my headgear on. I saw Ivan there. I'm like, wow, I got Ivan Robinson right there. So I was like kind of shocked. And I actually told Ivan, like, I actually looked up to you growing up because you was a great fighter, man. And he fought some really good opponents. And my most favorite fighter of all time, I gotta say, is Mike Tyson, man.
Like Tyson, yeah, yeah.
He's the best, man. I like looking at him. I always wanted to be like him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I gotta get that kind of power behind my punches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, did you actually watch the exhibition between him and Roy Jones Jr.?
yeah, I saw it. I saw it, man. It's not the same as looking at them.
I know.
It's not
I
the
know.
same.
Like he actually had me really hyped for that fight because I'm sure you saw it too because it was all over social media. But like when he was on the podcast with Sugar Ray Leonard, like you felt that he had that beast inside him. So I thought because when he was going to be in there with Roy, that Roy was going to be in some trouble. But, they just basically looked out for each other, it seemed like.
Yeah,
But
the
I mean, it's
exhibition.
awesome to see him back in there, though,
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see. I was just like, I was admiring because I looked at Roy too. Roy was a great fighter in
Uh,
his own right. So it's like, man, like you got two legendary guys in the ring like that. You know what I'm saying? That's like once in a lifetime. I grew up seeing it, but I don't really remember it. You
right.
know? But now it's like that you get to see it in person. You're like, oh wow, So Mike Tyson, I thought he looked good. I thought he wanted to fight too. I thought he wanted to fight because he's putting like
Yes.
Roy, you know.
Yeah, it sounds like they might try to do a Holyfield one. So that will be interesting. I mean, I saw that Evander said yesterday on TMZ that he thinks that it's going to get done. So I mean, that should be some mega bucks. So we'll see what happens.
If that happens, I'm putting all bets on Holyfield though. I gotta put bets on Holyfield. He beat me twice. I gotta put bets on Holyfield. You know, Mike is the man. I love Mike, man. Mike has always been the man. Like Mike
Yes.
Tyson is he's just that. It's just his presence. You know what I'm saying? You just look at him, it's like, oh, you frightened. Still
Oh,
to
yeah.
this day, like I go to the barbershop, I hear people talking about it, like, you know, they would take bets to get in the ring with Mike right now. Would you take bets? And people are like, nah, that power didn't go anywhere. You know. So.
Man. All right, so let's jump into so if you can let everyone know, so these are like some of my favorite questions coming up whenever I do the interviews, to show the boxing's like feelings and stuff and all too, and also their achievements and all, and when they're ready to go pro. So if you could talk about amateurs, I know you're new to the pro, so I assume that your record will probably be fresh in your head. So if you can let us know what your record was in amateur, some of your achievements, and then the third parter, when did you know you were ready to go pro?
Any amateurs, it was a struggle at first, you know. It was a thing of, do you want to do this or do you not want to do this? You know, it was, you know, something new to me because it's like, I had to get used to, you know, doing a sport that had like so much contact like that. So I was kind of shy away from the contact. So I would try to box, but I really wasn't the greatest boxer. Amateurs, I had a decent amateur career. Um, the amateurs was like a stepping stone for me, a learning process. It was a learning curve. Um, I didn't really win any major tournaments, anything like that. You know, I had struggled honestly making weight because, you know, I was used to playing football, so I was always used to eating. And you know, I was just getting introduced to boxing, so my coach was always, you know, telling me like, hey, you know, it's not just about, you know, hitting the bag and doing this and doing that and jump roping. You gotta be able to get in the ring, you gotta spar, you gotta be able to maintain your weight, you know what I'm saying? So that was the biggest key for me because in amateurs I was fighting at 141 and that was way too big for me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it wasn't bad because, you know, when I first came to the gym, I was probably like 157. And then I got all the way down of 141.
Okay.
I honestly can say there was a kid that I fought for my first Golden Glove tournament. And I just got skipped to the semifinals. And this kid, his name was, I don't know if you've heard of him. His name was Adam Ali. I got a chance to fight him in the amateurs. And that woke me up. That woke me up because I thought, you know, all my other previous amateur fights, I was, you know, my first 10 fights, I was just kind of like, you know, I was doing good, running through some guys, losing to some guys. I would lose close fights. But when I fought that guy, it was like, it woke me up and said, okay, you got to take it to a whole nother level because this is boxing is not something you can play. You got to want to do this. And I got in a fight with him and I lost. I got stopped in the second round. And it was like, wow. And this kid was like, you know what I mean? He was like ranked number 5 in the country. So it was like, wow, my first open class fight, I got a chance to fight somebody that was number 5 in the country. You know, I had all the confidence all the confidence in the world going into the fight. But hey, it's just, you know, I just wasn't skillfully and mentally, I wasn't prepared for that, you know. And it taught me a lesson, you know. I honestly cried about it because I didn't like losing. And it was okay though. I learned my lesson. I got back in the gym the next day. I was never the type of fighter that, you get beat up on. They don't, some guys just don't come back the next day or they might not come back at all. And I feel like I'm just that one in the diamond. Like I came back, I never gave up, because I said, hey, you came this far. What's the point for stopping now? Just because, you got beat up a little bit, keep bouncing back. So then a couple more fights. I was my amateur record. I was probably had about 50, maybe 48 fights. Probably half and half. I was about half and half. Lost a lot of fights because, just I had to get used to fighting like every other week or fighting consistently. You know, I wasn't used to that, you know, and my coach was trying to get me prepared. So I would have a good fight, and then after I win that fight, I sit there, go eat, blow up, and all that. And my coach like, hey, man, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Then my coach would even teach me lessons sometimes, put me in there with a guy. Okay, you want to be 150? Get in there and fight a 150 guy now. So then, you know, eventually I learned my lesson. You know, I got down to 130s, was able to fight in Golden Gloves a couple times at 130. Didn't do as good, you know, but hey, you know, it was a learning curve. I ended up fighting against a kid that was one of Philly's favorite. Is Colleen Mills. He was a great fighter. But it was a fight that we had, and it was for like a belt. And nobody in the world probably thought I could beat this kid. Nobody. And honestly, it was like in my head, I just said, I'm gonna just stay focused. You know, I can't depend. My own coach, honestly, he didn't even think I was gonna do it because it's like, you know, he said I had lacked the mental toughness and confidence, so he didn't know what to expect. But it was good for experience. And when I beat him, it was like, wow. So I felt like that really put me on the map to make people like, you know, take a second look at me because, you know, we would go sparring and do other things. I used to like coming in the gym starting off as an amateur. I probably had the best start off sparring partner, which was Vidal Rivera. Vidal Rivera, he's a pro. He's 8-1. Starting off with him, man, it really taught me a lot. He used to beat me up a lot, you know, and he helped me get that mental toughness. And I gotta give a shout out to Vidal because without him helping me, you know, he was pro, you know, so without him helping me, I would have never got to where I am right now. And I greatly appreciate him for everything because without him, man, without that good that brotherly love when I first came to the gym, him sparring me, beating me up and all that, I needed it, you know. And my coach let me know, you know, you starting off late in the game, so you gotta, you know, you gotta understand like this is what you gotta go through, you know. And if it was easy, everybody could do it, but it's not easy because everybody can't do this. And I always thought I was gonna beat him up when I first sparred him. I thought I was gonna beat him up. I'm like, he's like 122, 126. I'm like 150. What can he do to me? And, you know what I'm saying? It was some days I felt like I was about to throw up, body shots, crazy and all that. But like I said, it molded me and turned me into a better fighter. And I always got to give a shout out to Vidal because without Vidal, you know, I would have never have gotten to this point where I'm at. And, you know, then after Vidal, I started sparring better, you know, quality opponents and getting better and better and better, you know, and that's all I'm looking forward to, man, just getting better.
That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, it seems like you had a lot of experience and a lot of ups and downs in the amateur, which makes you the type of fighter you are today. So that's like great to hear and all. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So as soon as I turned, and when my coach knew I was ready to turn pro, because basically because of age, he said, you know, you're not getting any younger, and at the same time, it's like you got to learn to, you know, that you got to learn and understand that you're going to turn pro, and you don't want to learn on the job. So my coach always tell me, I'm not going to turn anybody pro, you know, with 25 fights unless you have 25 fights or more. Nothing with 25 fights or less. You're not turning pro. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to stick to it. And, hey, man, it was just, I got the call from Rice. He said, you ready to go? You know what I'm saying? I said, okay, I'm ready to go. And went in there and did my thing. And now I'm just looking forward to moving forward and getting better, man. Because, like, I see now to the pro level, it's a bigger atmosphere. It's a bigger game. You feel me? So you got to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing hard. You know what I mean? And I'll get there. Eventually, I'll get that world title shot. I'll get something. I'm going to get something.
Yeah. Yep. And also it's great that, you know, you're just a bridge ride over to Philly where you can make a name for yourself on all these club cards because you got like Russell Peltz, you even got Rodney Rice's card, who you know very well. You also have Marshall Kaufman. So those are the three big promoters here. And, you know, there's fights everywhere. You could fight at any of the casinos, even at the 2300 Arena, which is a really great place to watch a fight. So, yeah.
That was my first fight. My first fight
yeah.
last March was 2300 Arena. I loved it, man. It was it was just different. Like, you know, training for the fight, you know, I kept saying to myself, like, wow, you know, I kept thinking of quotes from Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan said this the best quote. He said, He said, if you're prepared, there's nothing you should be afraid of. If you prepare and do what you need to do, you don't have to be afraid of anything because you already put the work in. You just got to go out and perform. So I said,
Hmm.
okay. My head, I always, look at different quotes and different famous people and athletes, and I say to myself, man, like, if they can do it, I can do the same thing. So I was getting ready for that first fight. I wasn't nervous the whole at all. I was actually had just come back into the gym, so sparring was a little rough because timing was a little off. But I got into the ring, man. I took over, man. I think I sent you the video. I sent you the
Yeah,
video. It was
did.
that beautiful, man. I couldn't. It was like a Cinderella story. You couldn't write that up. Like I felt so good in the ring. I felt alive when the lights were on.
Yeah, and then one thing I think I even told you too when I watched all 4 rounds, like you had a really really great jab, and you also countered really well too. So you definitely have like amazing potential to even build on that more and more. But your jab that whole entire fight was just working really well for you.
Yeah, yeah, strong jab, and I just kept going for it, because the guy was backing up. So I said, I'm just take the fight to him. That's all I kept thinking, man. Just take the fight to him.
Yeah. One question I always like to show that boxers are human and all. So you did make the pro debut March 7th or earlier this year, and you had a unanimous decision win over Anthony Carter. But prior to the fight, I mean, I know you had close to 50 amateur fights and all. Did you feel like nervous at all, or was it everyday business for you?
Everyday business for me. Every day in training camp was my coach don't take it easy on me. When it's time for training camp, it's time for training camp. When it's time to train and go hard, it's time to train and go hard. He didn't let me rest not one little bit. You know what I'm saying? Days that I wasn't sparring, I wasn't doing anything in the gym, go run. You know what I'm saying? He would go with me when I was running, stuff like that. Like my coach is on me. He's always on me. Always on me. And like then it gets to now it's to the point where it's just like self discipline. He don't have to tell me. He never really had to tell me to do anything as far as running because conditioning, I've always been conditioned.
Hmm.
So, I ran cross country in high school and all that. So it was like running was not natural to me. But it's like, you know, sometimes when a coach has to tell somebody to do so many things so many times, they get tired of it. So now it's like me, he doesn't have to do that. He knows that I'm prepared and I'm ready. So if anything comes up and he sees I'm out of breath or something like that, he always say you haven't been running or you've been messing with ladies or something like that. Like what's going on? So I'm like, he always knows that something's going on because he hearsay it stuff. It always shows up in sparring. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, I was on my A game the whole training camp though. I didn't let up at all. Like, I was in the gym literally every day. You know what I mean? Monday through Sunday. I was in the gym every day. It did not matter. I'm sick, tired. Some days I didn't want to get out of bed. My coach called me, yo, let's go. We be at the gym at this time. Be at the gym at that time. And it's crazy because he would even miss like my coach would miss football games just so I can be ready. Like he loves to hear miss football and everything just to make sure I'm in the gym training and doing what I gotta do. So, Chris is like a father to me, after my dad passed. Like, he's like a second father to me. So, me and him just tight, and, we just roll with it, man.
All right, cool. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have people in your circle because one thing about boxing, and you'll probably know too, when you're winning, everybody's gonna want to be your friend and all. So you just got to make sure you keep your circle tight and just make sure you don't have any type of distractions. You know.
Definitely, definitely.
Yes. All right. So my next question I got for you. So if you could talk about your relationship with RDR Promotions and Rodney Rice. So how has that been since you made your debut on the card? And I'm sure you knew him prior and all too. So what has Rodney been like for you?
I gotta give a big shout out to Rodney. He's been very supportive of me ever since I was in the amateurs. Honestly, he he's one of those guys that always believes in me, and I guess he saw that dog in me. He saw that dog in me. He saw that hunger, and in his head, I guess he said, "Hey, I'm gonna see what's up with this kid." He got me to fight. He let me know what's going on, what's the deal, and there's nothing hid. There's nothing hidden. He's one of those guys, and that my coach trusts him also. So that's the best part about it. Him and my coach stay real tight. Anything I ask him, Rodney, he's willing to talk to me and let me know what's going on. And I recently had just talked to him not too long ago, maybe last week, you know, him just checking up with me and making sure I'm good. He always calls, say, "Yo, you in the gym? How's everything going?" I'm like, "I'm good." You know what I'm saying? Everything's cool. So, unfortunately, I didn't get the fight in November, but hey, he let me know I'm gonna get you a fight, going into the new year. If it wasn't for this whole Corona thing, I think I probably had about 5 to 6 fights on my belt.
Yeah.
But it's all right. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm just excited.
Yes.
It's the process. Yeah, it's gonna happen though. Once I get there, man, it's like, I'm just be thankful. You feel me? I'm humble and I'm thankful for the opportunity because, without Rodney helping me out, man, I don't know what I would have did, So I gotta give a big shout out to him because he put me on the map. You know what I mean? So now I'm just trying to move forward and and build my own legacy, build my own franchise, my own team, and everything. So we ready to go, man. I'm ready to go, firing on all cylinders.
Awesome. Awesome. That is really great to hear, and it's awesome to have a guy like that too, because I met Rodney a couple times. I met him the first time when I bought the tickets for the fight because I've been just itching for to be back and seeing a club fight. So that was my first time meeting Rodney, and then of course on Fight Night I got to talk to him a little bit too. So he's just a really nice guy. And he seemed like he cares about the fighters too.
Definitely. He always shows care.
All right. And then my next question I got for you. So a lot of people that just watch boxing to watch boxing, they don't know that like other people have jobs and stuff and all. So could you just let everyone know what type of work you're doing when you're not fighting or training for a fight or even staying in shape? There it is.
Amazon, Amazon, man. I got on board. I said, hey, man, I've been working it for a year now. Like, you ain't going to find a job to give you full benefits and everything from day one. So I just jumped on board. Makes pretty good money. So, far as living-wise, it's pretty good for me. I'm just waiting to get in the fight where I can get the big money fights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once I get to the stage, I'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, I don't want to work. I don't want to work the rest of my life, man. Like that's the one thing my coach first told me when I came in the gym. He said, do you want to work hard for 70 years of your life and have nothing? Or would you rather work hard for 10 hard years of your life in boxing and make millions? I said, I'd rather make millions. You know what I'm saying? So I jumped on with the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? It's, and to me, it's like, it ain't like to some fighters, they always say it ain't about the money, but it's like when you think about it, fighting is like you get the glory, you get the respect. You know what I mean? The fame is like I don't really care about the fame. I'd rather be rich than famous. But as long as I can box and make enough money so my family's financially stable and they don't have to worry about anything, and I'm financially stable and I don't have to worry about anything, and I can just invest my money and be smart like Floyd did, like all this other. There's some fighters that did dumb stuff with their money, and there's some fighters that did good stuff with their money. And they invested in, and they got branches of things coming down now because they put the time in and the effort and put the money out. So and it's a wonderful thing to see, and I definitely want to be one of those fighters that say, hey, I'm gonna take some money and I want to put it away and invest in something so I can keep money coming in. Money, as long as money's flowing in, you can never go broke, So, and then I've learned lessons. I've looked at videos from fighters like Mike Tyson, Holyfield. They talked about, how they growing up. They didn't have money and stuff like that, so they didn't know what to do when they got the money and everything. So, Mike Tyson was, spending money on sports cars, buying his friends sports cars, stuff like that. And then some of the guys got, Don King got them, you know what I mean? So it's like, they didn't have anybody to count the money for them and help them with, they didn't have anybody to help them financially to sit down with them and say, listen, you got to do this and that with your money, They just spent as it went, and you got to understand, is like when you spending money at the same time, you got to make the same money that you're spending. So if you're not doing that, you're going to go broke eventually. So that's why I'd rather just invest my money in this stuff. So as far as boxing, you got to put your money, in the area. You got to put your money and invest in yourself, And that's one thing my coach always preaches to me. You got to invest in yourself, because you're not going to box forever, But, to me, it's like, I love the sport so much, man. It's like, man, I don't want to get out the ring, man. I love being in that ring, man. I don't want to get out. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if you beat me up, I'm coming back stronger, double timing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the sport is just fun, man. And to know that you can beat somebody up and get paid for it, you know,
Right.
in the regular streets, you beat somebody up, you going to jail, you know. But you get a check. Yeah, I mean, you knock him out, you're getting a check. You know what I mean? You sign that contract, the check is going to say what's on that contract regardless and draw. But most of the time you want to win. I want to get all the wins. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no losses. So, you know, that's just my mindset, you know. Everybody say they don't, some fighters say they do it for the glory. Hey, if you're a prize fighter, I would like to be a prize fighter. So if you want to be a prize fighter, you gotta, you know, put the chips out, you gotta lay it all on the line. And I feel like the crowd loves the type of fighter I am because like I go forward, you know, I'm bringing the fight to you, you know. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't, I say it to myself, I always say it. If you don't swing, I'm a swing. So I'm coming. So just swing. That's all I'm saying. Swing.
Right.
Cause I'm coming. I'm going for it, man. I'm gonna dog you out. I'm gonna find some type of way to beat you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you tired. You know what I'm saying? Something. I'm coming after you. And no matter what you do, I don't care what you do, you know, I'm gonna be on my A game. Hey, you wanna beat me, you gotta bleed. And that's how I feel.
Love it. Love it. That should be the mentality for everyone in the ring instead of just trying to get a paycheck or just happy to be there. It seems like you're just one that really enjoys being there, whether it's a win or a loss. I mean, like, of course you want to win, but it seems like you just
Yeah.
overall really,
Yeah.
really enjoy the sport, you know?
Sport, man. It's like you can't boxing is like one of the greatest sports you could ever participate in, man. But you do boxing. You don't play boxing, you do it. You know what I mean? Nate Robinson, I guess he learned the hard way.
That was horrible. I think I know why he sat on the bench when like Mella was fighting with Kevin Garnett and stuff. So now I know why.
Right, right.
This is crazy. All right, so I have three more questions for you, and then we should be good. All right. So my first one is one of my favorite ones because it shows how much of a awful eater I am. So I think you're gonna stay at the 140, right?
No, I'm stay at 135.
Okay. Yeah.
135. I'm working my way down there. Like, you know, it's just like the schedule with the fights and everything with the corona, you know. So I'm staying in the gym. I'm just keeping the water weight off, working out, training, sparring. You know what I'm saying? I was just in the gym last week. I did like 15 rounds, you know. So like, yeah, like sparring and all that stuff. Like, it's just working out every day is like it's a necessity as a boxer, you know. So 140. I mean, that's kind of big for me. You know, I'm trying to stay down in the range of 135, possibly get down lower to like 130. You know,
Okay.
I'd be a big 130 if I can get down to 130 and maintain it. You know, so that means I don't have to walk around at like 135, 136 just to so I can get down to 130. You know, and I don't think it's hard for me to do that. I don't. It's just I got to be, you know, more disciplined in my head and, you know, not eating, as far as eating and everything, eat the right stuff and all that. You got to put the right stuff in your body when you're taking stuff out of your body, you know.
Yeah. So one of my questions that I usually like is like, what are some of the foods that you have to cut out of your diet, and what are some of the foods that like even though you might not like, but you have to eat in order to cut weight?
Oh, man, I got a list, man. I got a list.
Boy.
One thing, things to cut out: pizza, fries, you know, fried, anything fried. You can't eat nothing fried. Anything like baked goods and all that. You can't eat none of that, man. You gotta leave all that alone. Me personally, I like getting ready for a fight, man. You know, especially in the pros now, I take it more serious. In the amateurs, I hated it, you know, but in the pros, I take it more serious. I drink tomato juice. I eat oatmeal. I eat a lot of fruit. Drink a lot of water. I try to sip on water throughout one bottle of water throughout the whole day. Honestly, salad, stuff like that. Try to turn like I try not to eat like I sometimes and some like a lot of times honestly I skip dinner. I you know I have to because like I feel like my body it works better. Like me and my coach we discovered you know a long time ago like it's better for me to just skip dinner and sleep through it and wake up in the morning and just eat some oatmeal and then oatmeal will hold me over to the middle of the day and then before I go to the gym I'll drink some tomato paste. Oh, not tomato paste, tomato juice. Or
Yeah.
yeah, it's different things like tomato juice. Or I'll go to Wawa, get a salad. Make my own salad, eat some put a little bit of big chicken in there. You know what I'm saying? Just something I can work something off while I'm in the gym. And yeah, listen, man. When I'm getting ready for fights, I burn a lot of calories. I run a lot. I put the sauna suit on sometimes. So it's like it's a lot of different things you can do. I like putting the sauna suit on in the wintertime because I feel like in the wintertime I feel like it's better for me to cut weight. It's the easiest way for me to cut weight because it's cold outside.
Yeah.
So my body naturally, the temperature, my body's gonna overheat. And I put the sauna suit on, I feel good. A lot of fighters really don't like putting on a sauna suit. So, but I know me, myself personally, I like to eat. So I always keep that sauna suit on. I even work out with it in the gym. So it's like, you got to do what you got to do, man. But, the closer it's like you can tone down. Like if I got 2 months to prepare for a fight, you can eat comfortably, but just eat the right stuff. But just make sure you're cutting weight at the same time. And so when it comes to like the last, I say probably like 4 weeks before your fight, that's when everything you should be on a diet now. You should be on a full, complete diet, and you should be, eating the right things and putting the right things in and out of your body so, you can perform well, So that's just how I figure, and it's gotta be disciplined, You gotta stay away from. Sometimes I leave my wallet at home, so I don't tempt myself. Like I'll go buy Popeyes or something like that. I love Popeyes chicken, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yes.
So what I do, I just leave my wallet at home. I bring enough money to, do what I got to do, and that's it. But other than that, sometimes what I'll do is, it makes me mad. I'll bring money and I'll be like, you know what? I'll tell my coach Chris. I say, yo, man, let's go to Popeyes. And here, look at me. And it was he always does this before an amateur fight. Like, when we go to a tournament and something like that, here, look at me and be like, yeah, you want some of the skin off of the chicken? I said, why? He go, because you ain't going to gain no weight from the skin. I was like, I said, you're really messed up for that. You know what I mean? He does it all the time. Like, when I'm not getting ready for a fight or nothing, we go to Popeyes, we throw down. We sit down in the parking lot, we eat that food up. But when it comes to getting ready for a fight, and like I said, if I have cookies or something like that, I remember when I was getting ready for this fight in November, I had bought some cookies from 11th Street in Philadelphia, downtown Philly, and I came to the gym with him. I ate one cookie, and I was like, yeah, these are some nice cookies. And he looked at me and said, oh, you don't even need this. I had like 8 cookies in the bag, freshly hand-baked, you know what I mean? Like, he took the whole bag and said, yeah, I'll take these. You go ahead and start training. I'm like, oh, wow, that's crazy, man. Like, it made me mad because them cookies was like $15.
Oh, no. They
But I said, hey, man, so then that makes me say, just leave your wallet at home and stop spending money so you don't have to give him no more money. You're giving away your money, cookies and stuff that you want to eat, but you're giving it to him, Yeah. My coach is like that, man. He's always been on me, like, But Chris is cool, man. Like, me and him, we get along real well, man.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like for me, Wawa would probably be a big weakness for me because I feel like whenever there's a Wawa, I gotta go in.
Yes. Gotta get that cappuccino, all that. That stuff is good. Wawa is good. It's just expensive, man. So I pass a lot of Wawa.
Always is. Actually, both are pretty expensive, depending on what you're trying to get.
Right.
All right. So my next question. So obviously the pandemic. I mean, it kind of slowed down your professional fights. But it seemed like you're active in the gym though, which is really good. So what's your goals for 2021? I know you said earlier you want to do like maybe four or 5 fights, but how many fights are you trying to be? Or are you just trying to get on any card, like as much as cards as possible whenever the shows start coming up and all?
I'm waiting on my promoter. Whenever Ronnie tells me I have a fight, I'm a fight. I just gotta be patient. He's gonna move me the right way, and I just trust the process. So I've gotten calls from people top rank, all kinds of stuff like that. But God knows I wanted to take it, but I gotta trust my coach. My coach knows what he's doing, and my team, they tell me, just wait and be patient. You'll get your chance to fight those fights. But right now, we need you to develop a fan base and develop personally yourself so that when you do take those kind of fights like that, you'll be prepared. and you want to go into those fights, you want to win because you don't want to go into the fight. Most of those fights, you're probably going to be an opponent for somebody. So I want to go into a fight where, the grounds are pretty even. If I can be, to me, it don't matter blue corner, red corner. I don't care, man. Let's just get it on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like all that A side, B side thing. You know what I mean? Mayweather started all of that. Now it's like it just got bad. A side, B side. Before Mayweather, like back in the day, like Muhammad Ali and all of them, it wasn't no. It's either you in that corner, I'm in this corner, we gonna fight. Nowadays it's like because it's the politics, it's the money and the business. So it's like you just gotta take it one day at a time and fight the right fight. So I trust my team and I know they're gonna give me the right fights. And when it's time to perform, I'm gonna perform, and you're gonna see personally.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, whenever you're fighting again, I'm gonna be buying the tickets off of you, 100%. I saw Rodney's planning a show in Chester. I just don't know where it's gonna be. I guess Harris or something like that. So hopefully you're on that card on the 16th. That would be really cool to see you on that. So my last question's a fun one. I've been doing a poll for the guys from Philly, but I'm sure that you've had your fair share of cheesesteaks here. But what is your number one cheesesteak spot in Philly, whether you're cutting weight or not cutting weight? What's your spot?
Oh, man. You know what? I don't even really have a specific place. Far as there's a lot of places that make good cheesesteaks in Philly, man. Like Philly, I feel like anywhere I go in Philly is like I'm mad at you and discussing this with me right now. Uh, all right. I'm gonna go out on the limb.
Yeah,
All right,
I can hear you now.
I'm gonna go out on the limb. I'm gonna say Friendlies. Hello.
Friend?
Yeah, Friendlies. They got some good cheesesteaks there. They got some good cheesesteaks there. Friendlies or what's the other place? I don't really. Oh no. All right, Max's.
Max is good. Yeah.
Max. I gotta say Max's. I just realized like wait, I'm saying friendly. No, Max's. Max's has the
Yeah, I was like Friendlies. I was like, I don't know about that one.
they got cheesesteaks there. They do
Yeah.
but I mean, it's the area that I went in. They had some pretty good cheesesteaks. They put cheesesteaks. I gotta agree with that because I went there. At least I wound up going back. So I said, and I don't know. It's just Philly. I love the city of Philadelphia, man. I got nothing but love for Philly, man.
Same. Yeah, and it's also got love for you too. Well, thank you so much for joining. When I met you, I knew that you're a really good kid. So I'm gonna be a number one, or I'm sure you got a lot of people that are your number one supporters. But I'm gonna try to come as close to being a number one guy. So I'm gonna always try to come out to your fights and all. And we're looking forward to seeing you active in 2021.
Oh yeah, I want to give a shout out to Rocky Morris and Company, my sponsor. They sponsored my trunk styles for the fight for my last fight. I didn't get a chance to fight. Rocky Morris and Company. My man Mir, he runs the company, so I want to give a shout out to him. Give a shout out to Vidal Vivera, Rodney Rice, my coach Chris Williams. He doesn't have social media, so if you get a chance to walk by him, say yo, he gave you a shout out. I want to give a shout out to all my sparring partners. And my time. I'm trying to think who else. I gotta tell you the Instagrams because you probably wouldn't know who they are. Christian Tapia. I'll give a shout out to Christian Tapia. Raymond Ford. I want to give a shout out to Raymond Ford. He gave me some good work. And a bunch of that's a host of other guys, man. I can't just it's a lot of great work out here, man. So I appreciate all those guys, and just stay ready, man. Just stay tuned.
All right, perfect. Yeah, we are really looking forward to seeing you back in the ring. Naheem the Dream Parker, everybody, 1-0, and he is ready to be active starting in 2021. So we are ready to see him back. Thank you, Naheem, for joining.
All right, thank you.